Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Today's rundown is going out to Jefferson Gelker, who is actually a resident here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we've been having a wonderful time in your city. This rundown is all yours. The controversial space exploration game No Man's Sky is getting bigger. Developer Hello Games has announced that No Man's Sky is getting a huge update called No Man's Sky Next, and when the update arrives, the game will also debut for the very first time on the Xbox One. They haven't said exactly what's included in the update, but we do know that it will be available this summer as a free download for existing players, and will presumably be the only version available for newcomers. Game director Sean Murray says that Next will be the biggest update by far, eclipsing all the previous ones. That, and the fact that they're adding the word Next to the title, gives us some idea of just how big a change this will be. Several big updates have already been released, so if the next update is even bigger, expect major changes. When No Man's Sky launched in 2016, players were dissatisfied with the lack of content in the game, and the negative publicity had a major impact on sales. Hello Games has been struggling to live it down ever since, and it will be interesting to see if the next update can fix the game's reputation. As for the Xbox One version, it's taken this long because Hello Games had inked a publishing deal with Sony to make the game a PS4 exclusive on consoles, but that exclusivity window has now expired. Maybe Xbox One gamers will be more forgiving now that there's more content within the game. We'll have more details on the update when they're revealed. Speaking of games that got off to a shaky start, rough waters haven't been able to stop Sea of Thieves from plundering loot. Microsoft and Rare have announced that their new pirate game saw more than 2 million players on launch day, and it has become the fastest-selling first-party new IP of this console generation. They haven't said exactly how many copies of the game have been sold because some of those 2 million players might have been doubling up, but the actual number of sales can't be much different. This is good news for Rare and Microsoft, especially after all the problems with the game. When it launched last week, it was plagued with technical problems that Rare attributed to overloaded servers as a result of the high number of players. Most of those technical issues have since been worked out, but many players are also complaining that the game just doesn't have enough to do, echoing the problems with No Man's Sky. Perhaps tellingly, Microsoft hasn't said if the early sales momentum for Sea of Thieves is kept up following the controversy. Rare has vowed to continue updating the game and filling it with new content, so hopefully they'll be able to win back unsatisfied players. The next Wonder Woman movie is taking another new actor for a spin. Narcos star Pedro Pascal, who also appeared in the 4th season of Game of Thrones, has been cast as a new character in the upcoming sequel to Wonder Woman. Variety reports that Pascal will play a key role in the film, although they haven't said what that role will be, so he could be playing anyone from the vast DC Comics library. We do know that the new movie will take place during the 1980s against the backdrop of the Cold War between the US and Russia. It's already cast Kristen Wiig as the lead villain, DC evildoer Cheetah, who should be a formidable adversary. The new Wonder Woman begins shooting soon, with the film's director Patty Jenkins back at the helm. It hits theaters in November 2019. If the rocky desert of Phoenix, Arizona isn't dry enough for you, get your ass to Mars. The 2009 Martian game Red Faction Guerrilla is getting a new remastered edition called, what else? The Remastered edition. It will include the entire original game with new graphics, improved lighting, and new 4K support for the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. The new technology of the consoles will hopefully bring the game and all its fully destructible Martian environments to life like never before. As for the game's post-launch DLC, publisher THQ Nordic says that all of it will be included on the PC version of the Remastered edition, but the DLC won't be included on the console versions. It's not an accident that Red Faction Guerrilla is being remastered right now. The rights to the franchise and its developer Volition Inc. were separated after the original version of THQ went under in 2013, but they were just reunited last month thanks to a complicated acquisition deal by the new publisher THQ Nordic. Having the Red Faction franchise and its developer under the same roof for the first time in years means that it's now possible to make new Red Faction games, so this remastered edition of Guerrilla might just be the first step. It hits Earth later this spring. And a much more violent Martian adventure is getting a new coat of paint. The 2016 Doom game is now available in 4K on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. It's available as a free update for the existing versions, although Bethesda hasn't said anything about the high dynamic range or frame rates. The smooth and constant 60 frames per second was one of the best things about the original version, so hopefully that stays the same now that it's in 4K. You'll be able to build your own dinosaur theme park just in time for the new Jurassic World movie. Universal has announced that the new game Jurassic World Evolution will break out June 12th on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, just a few days before the new movie Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom hits theaters on June 22nd. The new game is essentially a theme park management sim with dinosaurs, where players can build and run their very own version of Jurassic Park. It's actually made by Frontier Developments, the same studio behind many of the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, as well as the recent space exploration game Elite Dangerous. Jurassic World Evolution also features narration from the one and only Jeff Goldblum.
It gets 10 Goldblums out of a possible 10 Goldblums. That's my highest rating.
This isn't the only new Jurassic game on the way. Universal is also creating an augmented reality title for mobile devices called Jurassic World Alive, which is essentially Pokemon Go with dinosaurs, and that arrives soon. Thank you so much for watching this episode. We'll have a brand new rundown for you on Monday after Easter weekend. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and make sure you check out some of the other content we've been making. And if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too.